Hello, my name is Queen, and I'm having an issue. When I was 8 years old, it all began. Every Friday night, my parents would force me to go to bed earlier than usual so they could have a movie night alone. One night, I begged them to let me stay up with them, but they refused, claiming that the movies they watched weren't suitable for children and sending me to my room. I couldn't understand what they could be watching that I couldn't, so I decided that no matter what, I'd find a way to watch their movies. I didn't like secrets, and I was also just pretty curious. I stayed in my room like a good little girl and waited until the house was completely silent before sneaking downstairs and grabbing their laptop before returning to my room. I didn't want them to wake up, so I plugged my pink headphones in, and luckily they had just clicked pause and shut the screen down. I replayed the movie and pressed play, my eyes stinging from staying up so late waiting for them to go to bed. But I couldn't take my eyes away from what I was seeing. It was about a kid who could see dead people everywhere he went, and this ghost would hunt him. I watched until the end and then ran downstairs as quickly as I could to return their laptop. I never been more terrified in my life as I was that night, fleeing back to my bed, unconcerned whether my parents awoke and found me. I just didn't want the ghost to find out who I was. I was so scared the next morning that I clung to my mom for the rest of the weekend, afraid to go anywhere alone. But as the week progressed, I found myself craving for feeling of fear. It's like going on a really scary roller coaster or diving into a swimming pool. I just wanted to do it again and again. So, the next Friday, I borrowed their laptop and went through my father's movie collection in quest of more disturbing films. Yeah, that night I watched 2 movies, one about a psycho murderer and the other about zombies. I couldn't breathe while watching them, but I didn't mind because I loved the feeling. After that night, my parents went on a camping trip and my cousin came to babysit me. I was overjoyed when I noticed my father's laptop in his office. I told my cousin I wasn't feeling well and went to bed early, but I ended up staying up all night. I was terrified of going to the bathroom, so I just went straight to sleep. That morning, my cousin arrived to wake me up, and I was going to get out of bed and join her downstairs for some pancakes. She noticed 2 wet patches on my pajamas and came out laughing as she moved away from me when I noticed one. I overheard her addressing me as EVPP. I was so ashamed that I ended up peeing a lot in bed in the weeks and months past. I was so afraid that my parents would find out that I decided to keep a bucket under my bed and use it if I needed to pee after dark. I also became terrified of the tiniest noise. Once my mother called my name, I actually screamed. I think they think I'm nervous and weird, but despite all of this, I cannot stop watching. In reality, I'm 12 years old and still addicted. I know it seems foolish, but I don't know how to stop myself. So far, I have managed to keep my fixation hidden from my parents, but I'm losing friends. They no longer ask me to their sleepover parties because I always end up needing to sleep with the light on. And one time, I peed myself at Tessa's house, and now she won't even speak to me. But I don't know what to do now that I know it's bad for me, but I still find it fascinating. We have a huge school trip coming up shortly, and we'll be sleeping in a woodland cabin. There's no way I can back out now that my parents have already paid for it. The problem is that half of the horror movies I've seen are set in woodland cabins, and none of the females want to share a cabin with me because they're afraid I'll be on the bed and stink up the place. Please assist me. Have any of you had a similar experience? I'm well aware that I need to put these scary films on hold. I just don't know how to put a stop to it. Please share any advice you have with me. I despise feeling like a coward, and I despise being referred to as EVPP. What are your thoughts on the story? Please leave your thoughts and stories in the comments area below. And remember to like and subscribe to our channel.
Hi everyone. I think buying used thing is pretty great. Sometimes I don't want to really care if something is brand new as long as it still functions, as well as got close to something that is new. One man's trash is another man's used trash. I know everyone worries about being scammed or attacked, but honestly, most of my experiences with buying used things from strangers has gone pretty smoothly, except this one. I mean, if someone's trying to sell you a desk, but you don't have any picture of it, then who knows, right? Don't risk it. I left a PlayStation 3 behind when I moved out of my parents' house. It was technically my sister's. However, I owned many of the games and brought them with me. And by the time I moved down, the only PS3 for sale were also used ones. So I figured I checked Kijiji, which is an online classified and service. Essentially, it's a Canadian equivalent of Craigslist. Despite the fact that we have it, we also have Craigslist. Kijiji, on the other hand, is superior. I purchased my will in the same manner a few years ago, and it just so happened that he was a fan. So I went online and looked for a PS3 and saw what was available. I found one for $230 that included 2 controllers and over 20 games. Hi, is it still available, and if so, could we negotiate on the price? I'll think a bit. How does 200 sound? Okay. I wait a bit. And then I tried a third-party tactic. I'm looking at another seller, and they're giving theirs for 200, which actually 2. But they didn't have an extra controller and not over 20 games. And that's why I'm trying to haggle for this one. 200 is good. Oh, got them. Awesome. Actually, I changed my mind. $225. What the hell? How did you go from $230 to $215 to my negotiated price of $200 and then back higher to $225? This person did not know how to haggle. He saw through my bluff. But either way, that counter offer didn't make sense. No deal. Alright, never mind. So, I continue looking at other apps and offer. Then, about an hour later, he messages me again. You sure $250 isn't good? Okay, this point, I'm thinking he might be getting a little desperate. So I continue to pay hard to get. No. Okay, I do $200 if you pick up today. I thought I was definitely dealing with a kid. But hey, we finally agree on the price. Alright, where can I meet you? 248 Shimmer Street. When can you come? Is 9 okay? A bit earlier, maybe 8. Okay, see you then. So, I went there later that night and discovered 248 Shimmer Street has 2 apartment complexes, A and B. I texted him and asked which one it is. He should be A. Should be? Should be. I don't want to know what your building should be as if it depended on unknown factors. I need to know your definitive location so I can safely make this transaction. I was getting a bit nervous. A part of me thought I was getting mugged, but then thought this probably is just a kid who's just not responsible enough to know his own address. I go inside building A. I text him saying I'm at the ground floor and he replies that he's on his way down. 5 minutes, but nothing. After 10 minutes, I got a text. I don't see you. This dumbass, I don't see you either. Meaning it's probably in building B, so I head on over and go inside. I still don't see him. I'm in building B. I don't see him either. No, I'm in A. What? Was I blind? Was he blind? Okay, still there. I head back to building A. Okay, I'm here. I don't get a reply, but after 5 minutes of waiting, he finally appears. I am a middle-aged man. I'm gonna die. Are you carrying with the PS3? Yes. We head upstairs to test it. We get to his apartment and he opened the door inside. It's a kid setting up the PS3. Hey, Ken, hurry up. What? Huh? I thought you were Ken. But you also can finally set up the PS3, try to turn it on. Nothing happens. He tries again. Still nothing. Big Ken, which I assume to be his dad, start getting a little irritated. I thought, you said it worked. What's going on? That's my line, dude. Because all I could fit with the amount of tension in the space. Kid can suffer behind the television. Give it another shot. Finally, it works. He and I both breathed a sigh of relief. I honestly didn't care if it was at this point. I just wanted to get out alive. A single piece. I said, cool. Kid can pick up the PS3, put it in a bag, and hand over to me. I handed him the $200 that we agreed upon, and how Papa Ken was also aware of and approved. He does take it from him, counts it. Okay, thank you. Thanks, I leave then.